Hello, everyone. This is Cody Nickel with Work, Grow, Thrive. I'm an organizational psychologist. I hold a master's degree in organizational psychology. I'm a consultant, coach. I'm currently working in talent acquisition, and I'm the author of the blog Work, Grow, Thrive. And today I would like to talk with you about how you can set work goals so that they're motivating and result in your peak performance. And you might think from the get-go, well, that's the job of my manager. And there are a lot of wonderful managers, leaders out there who care for the professional development of their employees and want to see them grow and thrive in the workplace. But the fact of the matter is many neglect this aspect of the job. And so you really, in this regard, have to be the captain of your own ship. Take your personal and professional development in your hands. And with this framework that I'm going to share with you, you'll have an orientation of how goals should be set at work so that you can reach your potential, so that they're motivating, they're interesting, they're challenging, even intrinsically motivating. And so this is based on Locke and Latham's goal setting theory. The first step or the first aspect is that goals should be specific and goals should be challenging. Specific meaning you should know exactly what you are going to do and when you're going to do it. So I was giving some consulting to a company that's active in recruiting, and we were looking at their goal setting framework and how they set goals in the company. And as the employees were setting goals, I just noticed that the goals they were setting weren't very specific. They said, I generally just want to contact some candidates this week, but yes, how many candidates are you going to contact? What platforms are you going to use? The goals weren't specific enough. When you have specific goals, then you also don't waste time considering how to go about them. You know exactly what you want to do and where you need to start. So specific. And then goals should also be challenging. If a goal is not challenging, you won't be that motivated to work on it. You won't sense that urgency. Wow, I need to get right to it. I need to start. But again, if the goal is too challenging, then you're also demotivated because you think, what's the point in even starting? I won't be able to reach this goal anyway. So make sure that the goal is challenging enough so that you're motivated to work on it. And you just know, wow, if I reach this goal, that's going to be very satisfying. This is pulling me out of my comfort zone and it's worthwhile to pursue. So the next thing is that goals should also be used to evaluate your performance. If you just set a goal for the sake of setting it, but no one is ever going to talk about it, it's not tied, for example, to your work review, it's not tied to a bonus or anything like that, then probably what's going to happen is you're not going to focus on that goal and you're going to focus on other goals. So it should really be tied to evaluation. And this really brings us to our next point, that you should receive regular feedback concerning your goals. Feedback is crucial for your goals if they're to result in peak performance. Feedback helps you to know what you're doing right, and it lets you know what areas you can improve in. So if you're just working, and your manager, your boss never takes time to give you feedback, then ask them, demand it, that you get feedback concerning your tasks, and regular feedback. Oftentimes, employees end up in some kind of annual or semi-annual performance review, and the results of that review are surprising. They thought they were doing a great job, but then, the hammer drops and, they're not delivering results as to a satisfactory degree. And this should really not be the case. In these semi-annual or annual reviews, what's discussed should be no surprise, actually, because you were receiving constructive feedback the entire time. The next thing is that the goal should matter to you. Of course, when you're employed, you get goals, you get tasks, and whether you like it or not, you have to do it. You have to do it well. Of course, there's no way around that. But as much as possible, try to be part of the decision-making process. So the company I was giving consulting to, that's one thing they did really well, that the employees were able to set their own goals, and then the boss would intervene, if the goal wasn't challenging enough or didn't really align with the overarching goals of the company. But the goal should matter to you. And a way that the goal can matter to you is that you become part of the goal setting process. Just talk with your manager, see how much you're able to be involved in that. And then another thing is that the goal should be linked to a deadline. I think in most of the time this is the case, but having a deadline really, gives you a positive kind of pressure. And it helps you to make regular progress. If you're not working towards a deadline, working towards a goal in a regular way and not making regular progress, then eventually you're going to stop trying, right? To stay motivated, we need to see that we're making regular progress, and having a deadline, that forces you to approach the goal, to work on it little by little. It's just extremely helpful. The sixth thing is that, this is just advice, that learning goals tend to result in better performance than even performance goals. Learning, it really touches our intrinsic motivation. You learn something for the sake of learning it. You become competent. You become, fluent, an expert in a particular field. And there's not this external pressure that you have to, perform or reach a particular KPI, but you're learning for the love of learning. So oftentimes, these kind of goals result in better results. Of course, you can't always have and only have learning goals at work, but as you're talking with your manager about your personal development, incorporate some kind of learning goals. What are your interests? What areas do you want to explore? So for example, at my work, I wanted to get a little bit more into digital marketing. So, I talked with my boss, and they even gave me some funding so that I could take a course in this area. And of course, I was motivated. I did well in it, and I was able to, use what I learned also in my work. And so all benefited, right? So yeah, whenever you can, have learning goals in addition to your performance goals. And then the last thing that I want to let you know is that there should also always be a group goal. It's not just about individual goals. It's crucial that we're able to work together with others to reach a goal. And, in order to be motivated along this line, you can use something called superordinate framing. This is where you take your goal and you consider, how is this goal linked to other employees' goals? How is what I'm doing helping other employees to reach their goals, so that ultimately all of us can fulfill or reach a higher goal? So for example, I work at a pharmacy chain here in Germany, and there's so many different aspects that go into opening a pharmacy. You need to find the location. You need to find someone to be an operator. You need to order all the medicines. You need to build the pharmacy. And so my job is to find an operator. And I know that everyone's doing a wonderful job, but if I don't find an operator, then, the pharmacy ultimately can't even be opened. So I see how my role is so crucial also for everyone else. And if I do my role and everyone else does their job, if we do this in a good way, then ultimately we can open the pharmacy and it will be a successfully run, good operating pharmacy. So use superordinate framing to see, how you connect with others to reach a greater goal. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. As you're setting your work goals, again, I'll just go through the points as a way of summary. Make sure that the goals are specific and challenging. They should be linked to your performance. They should be used to evaluate performance. You should have regular feedback. The goals should matter to you. They should be linked to a deadline. Add some learning goals in along with the performing goals. That adds a little bit of spice. That's super motivating. And also make sure that there is a group goal so that all of you are pursuing something together. This keeps your motivation high and ultimately will result in peak performance. If you got something from this video, please like it. Also subscribe to my channel if you're interested in some one-on-one coaching, how to reach your potential in your particular situation at work, to take the next step. Whatever it is, you can reach out to me. I still have a little bit of capacity. All the links are in the description of this video. Hope to hear from you soon. Have a wonderful day.